If you ever felt totally overwhelmed by anxiety or depression, like your defenses are just completely down and you're exposed to everything, well, then this explainer is for you. We're going to dive into a really powerful blueprint from the book Rise Up and Build, and it uses this amazing analogy to show us how to rebuild our emotional strength one stone at a time. So the whole idea kicks off with this one verse from the book of Proverbs. And wow, what a picture it paints, right? A city completely broken down with no walls to protect it. That's a powerful image of vulnerability. And that really gets to the heart of it, doesn't it? That feeling of being just broken down, overwhelmed, totally defenseless. If you've ever wrestled with anxiety or depression, you know exactly what this feels like. The source material actually has a name for the state, being a city without walls. So, what does it really mean to be a city without walls? Well, the book uses this biblical analogy to describe that feeling of having zero defense against all the negative thoughts and emotions that just come rushing in. Our spirit, our emotional health, our physical health, it's all just out there, completely exposed. But here's where the hope comes in. The book uses the story of a guy named Nehemiah as its guide. See, he had what seemed like an impossible job, rebuilding the totally crumbled walls of Jerusalem. And get this, against all odds, he and the people got it done in just 52 days. And that story, that becomes our blueprint. But hold on, before Nehemiah could lay a single stone, he had to check out the foundation. I mean, you can't build strong walls on shaky ground, right? It's just not going to work. And the book argues that this is the absolute first, most critical step in rebuilding our own defenses too. So what is this sure foundation? Well, according to the book, it's a personal relationship with Christ. The core argument here is that without this spiritual anchor, any other walls we try to build are just built on sand. They might look good for a little while, but eventually they're going to crumble. The book breaks down how to establish this foundation into a really simple ABC process. A is for admit you need saving. B is for believe in Jesus. And C is for confess him as the Lord of your life. It's presented as the non-negotiable starting block for this whole journey. All right, so with that foundation laid, what's next? In Nehemiah's story, the people strengthened their hands for this good work. The book translates this for us into preparing our physical bodies for the big mental and emotional job ahead. And what's great is that the recommendation is so simple. We're not talking about some grueling, intense gym routine. It's just 30 minutes of movement a few times a week. The goal is simple. Build up your physical energy so you've got more in the tank for your emotional well-being. The approach to diet is just as straightforward. You can forget all the complex calorie counting. The book offers a super easy rule of thumb. If God made it, eat it. If it was made in a factory by man, try to stay away. Simple changes that can lead to some really big results. Okay, so we've got a solid foundation. We've strengthened our hands for the work. Now we're finally ready to build. The heart of this blueprint is building 4 specific walls, and each one is designed to protect our heart and mind from attack. These are the 4 big ones: the wall of the mind, the wall of the tongue, the wall of the ears, and the wall of the eyes. Each one guards a specific way that anxiety and depression can try to get in. We're just going to do a quick flyby of them today. First up, the wall of the mind. The book says this is basically our primary defense because our thoughts, well, they're the seeds for our emotions and our actions. This wall is all about you becoming the gatekeeper of your own thoughts, choosing what gets to stay and what gets kicked out. Next, we've got the wall of the tongue. The source argues that our words have the power of life and death, especially the words we speak about ourselves. So building this wall means learning to speak truth and encouragement and actively shaping our own reality for the better. Then there's the wall of the ears. You know, what we allow ourselves to listen to, whether it's gossip, criticism, or just discouraging news, can either build us up or tear us down. This wall is like a filter, protecting our spirit from all that toxic input. And finally, the wall of the eyes. There's a powerful principle here. What you focus on determines your direction. So this wall is about intentionally pointing our gaze away from our weaknesses and failures, and instead focusing on our source of strength and the needs of others. Now that was just a super quick overview. Building each one of these walls is a whole process, and you bet we'll be dedicating future explainers to breaking down the how-to for each one. So think of this as your architectural blueprint. But hey, the work isn't done once the walls are up. The final phase, and maybe the most important, is maintenance. It's about setting a watch and learning how to win that internal battle between what you feel and what you know is true. The book uses this incredible comparison to show us what that battle looks like. On one side, you've got your feelings. Maybe they're screaming, "I'm all alone, no one cares." The method is to fight back by actively countering that feeling with truth. In this case, scriptural truth that says you are never, ever alone and you are so deeply loved. And this is really the key takeaway. This is not a 3-step program to instant happiness. It's a lifetime commitment. Just like Nehemiah's men had to stand guard day and night, keeping these walls strong means we have to stay vigilant. So we end up right back where we started, with the words that sparked this whole thing. After seeing how broken everything was, the people didn't despair. They said, "Let us rise up and build," and they got themselves ready for the good work ahead. Ultimately, this whole blueprint is a choice. It's a call to action, to stop feeling like a victim of your emotions and to become the builder of your own well-being. So the question the book leaves us with is a personal one. Your city is waiting. Are you ready to build?